This video has a look at the re-entry gap that an overtaking vehicle has when confronted with oncoming traffic. The animation highlights just one of the problems that can exist. So here the driver of the red vehicle, perhaps in a panicky state because of the oncoming vehicle, now tries to force his way into the small gap and lands up colliding with one of the vehicles traveling in the same direction. So that's one problem that can exist. Let's have a look at some of the other problems in the following real-life clips. In this first real-life clip, this is just demonstrating what we've seen in the animation. The vehicle ahead, this blue vehicle, tries to overtake the vehicle ahead of him. Not much of a gap between that vehicle and the truck. There's an oncoming vehicle, so it tries to force his way into the gap and then forces that vehicle off to the side of the road. In this next real-life clip, there is more of a gap between the camera and the vehicle ahead. However, the vehicle that's overtaking the camera is traveling at too high a speed in order to be able to re-enter this gap and brake in time without colliding with the vehicle ahead. And so we see that in this real-life clip. So there's the collision. Another problem that can exist is that if the gap's too small or the overtaking vehicle's also traveling at too high a speed, then when the vehicle re-enters the gap, tries to brake, but brakes too harshly, then the wheels lock up, the car can be induced into a slide and land up on the wrong side of the road in the direct path of the oncoming traffic. And we see that in one of the clips in the montage section. The other problem that can exist is that if the gap, once again, is too small or the overtaking vehicle is traveling too fast, when the car tries to re-enter this gap, if there's a close oncoming vehicle, the driver may turn too sharply in order to make it quickly into the gap, but because the angle that the wheels are turned in relative to the speed of the vehicle is too high, so in other words, the angle of attack of the wheels is too high, the car likewise might be induced into a slide and land up completely off the road. And we also see that in one of the clips in the montage section. If you're not sure what is meant by angle of attack, there is a page on the website that covers that. And I'll put a link to the description in the description section of the video below that'll take you to that page of the website. So that's another potential problem that can exist. In the last clip that we'll have a look at, we have the camera overtaken by a truck. Now this poses a danger in two of the variables involved. So the one is the speed of a larger vehicle. The larger vehicle, due to its size and its weight and its inertia, doesn't have the acceleration to be able to quickly overtake. That's one problem. The truck or bus, larger vehicle, would spend more time on the opposite side of the road, and because of that, may not clear the vehicle it's overtaking completely before being forced back onto the correct side of the road. So it's the acceleration and the speed of a larger vehicle overtaking. The second variable that can pose a danger is the length of the vehicle. So if it's a bus of considerable length or a truck of considerable length, then obviously that vehicle would spend more time in trying to be able to bypass the vehicle that it's overtaking completely before being in a safe position to re-enter the road. But if there's oncoming traffic, it may not have that space in order to be able to clear its length before coming onto the correct side of the road, and so may be forced now back onto its side of the road, but the length of the vehicle hasn't cleared the vehicle that it's overtaking. So that's what we see in this particular clip. So what is the takeaway for us in this video? Well, the best practice to follow when you're traveling is to always leave enough of a gap between yourself and the vehicle ahead. Under normal circumstances, we want to leave at least a 2-second gap between ourselves and the vehicle ahead. But if we in a situation where there are a number of vehicles that would be overtaking us, then we want to leave even more of a distance than that 2-second gap. And that will allow the space for the vehicles to be able to re-enter safely, and will also minimize the risk of our being involved in a collision, because we've got more time to respond or react should the vehicle overtaking us land up in a head-on collision. So that's the takeaway from this video. Enjoy the rest of the course. Please like, subscribe, and get notified.